And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this morning, Tuesday, October 17, 2017, broadcasting live to all the kings and queens of the kingdom, folks. Remember to keep your crowns and your rod of iron. Rods of iron. Hey, rods of iron. There you go. We're joined today with Bob Beierle, an amazing patriot, publisher and editor of Our Town, a free bi-weekly publication with news and opinion that is read by some 750,000 readers monthly. He calls himself a non-speaker, but his editorials are respected by readers in the communities across the East Coast of the U.S. He says, I don't feel comfortable talking about myself in his personal bio. Honestly, all I am is a husband, father, and just some guy with a few printing presses that likes to tell stories and who loves God. Bob, Dorothy, great to have you today in studio. Hey, how do you like this?
Really nice to be here.
How do you like the logo? This is handmade. Hey, one of our congregation brothers and sisters in Japan is a woodworking artist, and he made that by hand. That's all done by hand.
Hopefully that's not a bump stock, is it?
I don't know. Oh, did you see this incredible? What was that video, guys? With the guy who's going to run against somebody? Is one of the leftists?
Moore in Alabama.
Is that in Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, the guy who's
Moore.
running against Moore, he came out with this fantastical video, guys. You pull that video up, and he shows. Okay.
Thinking of something else.
He shoots his AR with just his finger. It's just at like fully automatic speed, like. And he's like, what's Congress going to do, ban my finger? Oh, my goodness. But anyways, it's been such a long time since we've talked and we've seen you guys. You guys been in Texas for a long time, and now you guys have moved, I guess, back to Pennsylvania. Is that right?
Yeah, we had an opportunity in Texas to start a few art town. Well, it was going to be one art town down there. It was an ex-Dallas football player.
Oh,
and
wow.
I don't know if you ever saw the movie Up, with the kids and the balloons, and there's this beloved dog in it, and the dog had a very limited attention span. We're talking to this guy, and like he's really interested, and all of a sudden, like boom, he's off on something else, and like Dorothy and I are like looking at each other like, are you kidding me? And then he'd come back to us, and Dorothy's like hitting me with her knee, like, don't sell him the franchise. But we looked at the area, and the area was amazing. Two of the fastest growing counties in the country, Collin County and Denton County. 1,000 people a week are moving into the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Wow.
That's good, but
Where are they moving in from?
all over the country.
All over?
Yeah,
'Cause I heard the Californians, they've now imploded California, and now they're moving to...
Right.
Yeah,
from
well, but
California to
basically
Texas.
the governors down there started a program. They're bringing in all these corporations and businesses to relocate down there. So you get these opportunities in life, and you flip a coin. And we talked it over with the family because it's a family-run business, the Our Town, and all the kids and all our family that works with us and our friends that work with us had to pick up the workload when we were gone. But we went down there, we had a great experience, it was really good, the book was doing good, and like we said during the break, we had a death in the family, somebody very, very close to us, and it just changed our perspective on life. And, you know, it came that money and this opportunity was not as valuable as having the time to spend with our family. So we moved back, but it was a great experience. We were commuting back and forth 23 hours.
Oh, man, that was
We were
insane.
driving. We drive back. We come back. We try to take up as much time from what the kids were doing. And I call them kids. They're in their late 20s and 30s, but they'll still always be our kids. But we came back, so we would pick up the workload here. They print up the new book. We load up. There were 3 books we were doing down there, 3 different art towns. We load up the truck, drive down there. As we're coming into Texas, because we started in the east, we'd start delivering. We weren't killing ourselves, but it was
brutal. It's brutal. I bet you he did that drive in a day too.
Well, no.
We took turns, but he did most of it.
Yeah, Dorothy.
Oh, my
I mean,
goodness.
It was, yeah,
Did you talk some sense into him, Dorothy?
Yeah.
I tried.
She'd be over in the fetal position. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Come on, honey, let's go more.
It's a road trip, baby.
You can't talk sense
my
into him.
But it was a great experience. But we're like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. We were so happy to be home.
Yes,
And
there's no place like home.
There isn't. I mean, and we are enjoying being back here. And like anything, look, over the last 8 years of Obama, I mean, all businesses have suffered. We have seen so many businesses just die. Businesses that have been open for a quarter of a century and longer, and just are we allowed to talk about politics
And we
here?
almost had Hillary.
Oh my God!
We almost had Hillary.
Yes.
Well, thank God for those Russians. You know, I mean,
Well, you know they were influencing Pokemon Go, according to CNN.
Yeah.
You see this one? Pokemon Go. They were using Pokemon Go to
It's-
divide the races in America. Yes, that's by CNN. I showed them today. I showed everybody today. This is insane.
it is. It's just you almost get to a point to where you wonder, like when we were growing up. We're a little older than you. When we were growing up, there always seemed to be adults, people that had rational thinking, that common sense was part of the of any equation of thought processing. That okay, this is what grown-ups do. This is how we behave. You know, God, country. There's always been divisions. I mean, back in 100 years ago, we would have fist fights in Congress, because of the passion and that.
Duels.
Everybody, yes,
Duels. They would have
duels.
duels.
I mean, people.
We need to
always
bring back
will
trial by
disagree.
combat, man.
I mean, look, we're Christians here, and how many different divisions of Christianity do we have? And not that we're getting into fist
It's
fights.
like
but
42,000.
Right, right. So I mean, there's always turmoil. There's always people disagreeing with one another, but there always seems to be a common goal with
Yes.
America. Okay, freedom. Yeah, that's what we're based on. We're based on freedom, freedom of religion, freedom to carry. And the
Common sense.
yes,
Common
common
sense.
sense.
Come on, common sense stuff.
Right.
Don't let the criminals run it. Don't let the psychopaths run the board. Common sense stuff,
And now, I mean, you watch, and we've actually got to the point now where we have to take a break. I mean, with the publication we do, just like you have to be up on what's going on. You have to watch the news. You got to watch stuff you don't want to watch, and you look at this stuff, and you listen to what our supposed leaders are saying, and like Dorothy and I will look at each other, and it's like, did they just say that? Is this really the direction we're going in? It's like, oh yeah, let's open the borders. Let's bring more people in. We don't have to have a wall.
600,000 plus.
Oh, that's
unvetted.
unvetted.
War-torn Middle Eastern
You've gotta be
countries.
kidding
Oh,
me.
that were great for Europe.
Why, we
Great
all-
for Europe.
We all
yeah,
know
look
that
at
it's-
Europe. What's happening?
Yeah,
The
we all
rape
know
capital of
that-
the world now is Sweden. It's great, fantastic.
And we all know that Islam is such a good religion.
Oh, it's such a beautiful. Oh, yes,
Oh, yeah.
It'll solve all the world's problems: female genital mutilation,
Oh, yeah.
child
Yeah.
pedophilia, child rape, child
Let's
marriage.
bring 'em here.
Muhammad's favorite wife was Aisha. He beheaded over 800 Jews himself. It's the best. It's
but
just
that's
like,
why not?
it's just like
Pass.
Jesus. Jesus did all that. 11 wives. So normal. Come on, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Out there, bro? Oh my God, give me a break.
But and then you look at the caliber of people that we have running for office, and look, I have no love for the Republican Party.
They are so traitors. Do you see
They
John
are-
McCain blocking everything?
And
What
when
is
he went
wrong
up
with
there
this
for the
guy?
vote, he held his hand up there and went down like that. I mean, what do you think? You're Julius Caesar or
This
something?
guy is ridiculous.
I
He's
know.
blocking everything. Did you see? This is absurd.
I don't know where, somewhere in here, we brought you a couple editions of the Our Town. If you ever wanted to read a couple parts of it to you, or some of them are funny, we did a few things on politics and looking at it in a different aspect, as if, I won't get into it because it's too involved.
Come on, Bob, get into it. Get into it.
Where's my soapbox?
Get into it. Break it down
yeah.
for us, man. How you do every day on
You
Our Town.
have the politicians. The one story we did, it was called "Bringing Out the New Models," and you start reading it, and you think you're thinking you're in an auto company, and they're bringing out supposed new models. And there's one guy in a corporation, and he's not crazy about it. He thinks the new models are too plastic. But what they're bringing out is they're bringing out the politicians. Of course, the head of the corporation is Soros. And
Hey,
all,
there you
yes,
go.
all
Easy,
these
Paul.
politicians are under the control. I mean, they're all the same. They're plastic. They come out and they try to divide the people. You know, one will be saying, you know, I'm conservative, and the other one saying, oh, I'm liberal. But they're all fighting. They're all doing the same thing. They're all diminishing our freedoms. They're all taking away our rights. And finally, we finally get a person inside there. And again, I'm not sure about your political beliefs here, but Trump. I mean, this man is
Kicking their ass.
yes. This guy he's
Yes.
one of us. You could
Despite
sit.
the media,
Yes, you could sit in a bar. He wouldn't.
despite the
he wouldn't
Democrats and
drink.
Republicans.
Did you see this executive order? He's now smashing Obamacare.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
killing the
Yes.
subsidies that are going to them. Oh my, it's going to be dead in 2 months.
And everything they
Incredible.
do, everything they try to do to stop this man. And there's times, I mean, it's like reading a comic book. I mean, you think they got him up against the wall, and they think like, oh my God, this is it. Like one of the old movie serials where it's ending at a cliffhanger. They have him up against the wall, and then the next day you find like this is what the guy was planning, and he has it turned around, and he's moving his agenda forward. He's doing things for America, and it is so clear and so plain for any of us to understand. When we're looking at it, when the people of this country are looking at what Trump is doing, and you're saying, no, this is what America's supposed to be. This is moving the America agenda. This is moving our freedoms forward.
Yes.
And then you look at the amount of politicians that are against them, and you're wondering, what you're against us? You're against the people?
I mean, what gets me totally PO'd about the neocons is they pretend to be conservative, and then they're receiving money from George Soros. That came out just in the beginning of this year. I mean, Ryan, all these guys were on the payroll of George Soros. McMaster worked for a nonprofit organization that was run by Soros. I mean, this is ridiculous. And Trump has like these generals around him now that are kind of surrounding him, trying to isolate him from. But look what he's doing. He's just smashing through them, and he's his own man. He's running it. He's keeping the promises that he made during the campaign trail. He's actually going after Obamacare. He's dismantling. You know, the stock market is up as high as it's ever been. The economy's booming. Businesses are booming. You know, entrepreneurship and confidence is like skyrocketing. People are spending again. You know, hey, big tax cuts he's trying to push, but they're blocking it again. I mean, what is wrong with these people? These people are total fakes. I mean, we know the Democrats are the libtards and the total leftist lunatics commies. But they are the right neocons. They pretend to be, you know, for the people and for smaller government. They keep on doing the same thing as you said. They just keep growing the government. McMaster wants to bring in 600,000 unvetted migrants. That's Hillary Clinton's plan. What is up with that?
It's interesting because who is the worst enemy?
Golly.
Somebody who verbally and stands out in front of you and says, I oppose you, and this is what I believe, A, B, and C, and you believe, you know, X, Y, and Z. Who's the worst enemy? The person that actually comes out there and confronts you, or the person that's sitting alongside you, patting you, saying, I'm your friend. And in the meantime, they're working everything they can do against you. Trump has been able to expose this. What Trump has been able to do, in my humble opinion, is more than any politician has been able to do in generations. Because not only is he standing for what's right, but he has exposed the Republican Party. He has exposed people for what they truly stand for. 7 years we were hearing, we're gonna, you know, you vote for us, we'll dismantle Obamacare, and when you finally get a chance,
Illegal immigration.
right, yes. So, and McCain, I want that wall. Once he's elected, we don't need that wall.
I hate Obamacare. I'll vote against it now. These people are crazy.
Oh my God,
This is insane. But you know what's amazing about Trump? Look at what he's doing. Look at him on Friday. Okay, what was he speaking at, Tim? The voters
Summit.
Value. Did you see? He said we're going to say Merry Christmas again. We're going to pray to our God. We're not going to worship government. We're going to worship our God. This is talking about getting back to the founding fathers and the founding principles. You know, because you know any ethical, real society cannot be separated from God because we get our natural rights from God. We got our, you know, what did George Washington do? Really, he stepped down from being king, but he made everybody allowed to be king. Think about it. In Korea, in South Korea, we always talking with our congregation in Japan, Korea, they don't have the kingly rights. Historical kingly rights is private land ownership, territory. And of course, weapons ownership, that was a kingly right. But then, of course, people now, citizens don't have that if they're under a centralized, communist government. But here in America, everybody can be their king. And literally, we have a castle doctrine legally, too. If you come in and invade the house, it's like a castle. It's the kingdom. It's a small kingdom.
It's supposed to be. Right?
And you can defend that kingdom. You have all the rights of the kings that were in the past, right? But in other parts of the world, they don't experience that. They can't just walk into a shop and buy an AR, for example. They're shocked by that. When we have our congregation from Japan, Korea come, they're like shocked when they walk in a Tommy gun warehouse. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this is legal!"
I want one of those. One of those.
This is
Can I take it
legal
home?
because we got our people taking pictures with crowns and guns in even Japan and Korea, right? Of course, they're toy guns, they're little toy guns. But it's the metaphorical crown and the rod of iron. That will vanquish Satan's kingdoms. And we got them taking these pictures in Korea. That's like shocking in Asian culture, like totally shocking. But I mean, but having an understanding that, hey, look, we're human beings. We're not supposed to be slaves. We're not supposed to be under the fist of these totalitarian rules. We're supposed to be free. We're supposed to be a sovereign. God gave us these rights. He's getting back to President Trump is getting back. He sounds like Pastor Trump up there speaking and preaching, talking about we love God, we love him, the anthem, we love, we want to say Jesus Christ, we want to say Merry Christmas again. I mean, people were going wild when he said we're going to say Merry Christmas. Because that was banned. It was like you're a racist if you say Merry Christmas. And you offend, well, Merry Christmas, sir. I'm deeply offended at that.
Too bad.
How dare you say Merry Christmas to me? I don't believe in your religion. This was like where we were going. And then they got transgenders like reading to children. I mean, this is totally insane. We got Michelle Obama. Say.
Well, I don't know. You might not be too far off.
She's got football shoulders, okay? She's bigger than Barack. She's part of LGBTQT.
At the end of the day, when you see that 5 o'clock shadow, you're thinking like, really? Yeah.
She's long Don Silver, man.
Pros of baseball is so much better than
What's that one picture on Facebook?
Oh my goodness. Too insane, folks. We're going to take a short break. We need a short break. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us. Oh man, I gotta bite my mouthpiece.
I'm down here at the range today. I just learned a new technique from the father of the .44 Magnum, Elmer Keith, which is called shooting out of the notch, which allows you to make really long distance shots and still have an extremely precise sight picture. So I brought my CW9 car down, and with this little gun, we're gonna shoot this little munchkin at 200 yards up in the hills, applying this technique, and hopefully we'll make the shot. To apply this technique, instead of using the blade of the front sight lined up with the top of the rear sight, I'm going to take the dot of the front sight and raise it up so that it's out of the notch, but I'm still going to keep the front sight on my target. Bringing that front sight up like that is going to compensate for the bullet drop over that excessively long distance with just this little gun. So if applied right, we should be making contact. Let's see how it goes. I saw this shot, so I'm a little bit out of breath because you gotta run to make sure that is what I thought it was, and it was. So while making this shot, from that distance with these white dot sights, it literally would cover the entire target. You couldn't see what you were shooting. So using the Elmer Keith technique, you were able to raise it out of the back notch. I can't breathe. Out of the back notch, allowing you to keep your accuracy, aim, and also still see the target, which is key because it was a hard shot, not gonna lie. But yeah, it went great, and Elmer knows what he's talking about. And for such a small gun to be able to take that hit, I'm very impressed with this. All right, guys, be sure to like and share, and I'll see you out on the range.
That was awesome. Hey, can I try that one? Yeah, let's see with the 380.
Does everybody have eyes and ears?
Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today.
We are back. We are back. Welcome back to the Games of Horror. Here this morning, having a great time with Bob and Dorothy Beierle, talking about all manner of things. Let me get your opinion on this. Sheila LaBeouf resurrects anti-Trump flag exhibit to the delight of 4chan trolls. And I'm sure during the break we talked about this a little bit. This is the Hollywood actor that is, trying to get moral points by putting anti-Trump flags around in hidden locations. And, ooh, he's so creative. Oh, he's so ninja. He's putting up these flags and, oh, he's a hero. He's a secret hero to us, And he has resurrected the notorious "He Will Not Divide Us" exhibit that was sabotaged by 4chan trolls. Now, these guys are the younger conservative millennials who are kind of, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're figuring out where this guy is going to get his flag, and they get it before he puts it up, or when he puts it up, they get it down real quick. And here we go. He's trying to get it up, and look at this. He's got it up on the...
I'm happy he got it up.
He's got it up. Look at this, on the top of this huge building. What is this? This is in Nantes, France. The flag has emerged in Nantes, France. I hope I'm saying that right. For LaBeouf is referring to the building. The flag is erected on Le Lieu Unique Center for Contemporary Arts in France. And there it is, flying high on the top of that building. And the 4chan young people have been delighted in turning the exhibit into the world's ultimate contest of capture the flag. They're already eager to hatch plans to take the "He Will Not Divide Us" flag from the French Arts Center. Here's their communications. LaBeouf has gone into great extents to conceal the location of flags after breakouts of violence at his original He Will Not Divide Us exhibit in Washington, D.C. He's also gone into having mental breakdowns after after his flag was captured.
You know, I have to laugh. Our one son, Todd, he's Nathaniel Todd. He's in the military. He's in the National Guard. He's a sniper. Now, you look at conservative people who raise their children conservative to grow up into being good, God-fearing, country-loving people. Now, when you look at this guy, what he's doing, and he thinks he's actually doing something meaningful and something that's going to change the world, and then you look at the men and women who serve in our military. You look at our country's history. I mean, you look at the Patriots. When we were fighting the Revolutionary War, there were kids 12 years old, you know, loading muskets, fighting. And you can compare to what built this country, the caliber of and sacrifice to actually make change in the world, to liberate people, to give us freedom of religion. And this guy's hiding flags, and he thinks like somehow this is some great big.
Well, he's holy in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, well, there you go. I mean, when
he's a hero.
we had to go through this when our
So brave.
when our kids were growing up with their teachers telling them, our nephews and nieces, oh, you know, to change the world, you have to change a light bulb, because to use this light bulb, you're gonna. And I'm thinking, this is what we're teaching our kids. Oh, don't use wrapping paper, because that's going to be harmful to the environment. Do you know how much wrapping paper ends up in the dumps? I'm not kidding. We had our nieces and nephews saying at Christmas time, oh, don't wrap presents. Or, oh, no, don't run the water too much. Oh, change a light bulb. That's not how you change the world. You change the world by getting out there. You change the world by being active. You change the world by explaining to the people, by what you're doing, the difference between good and evil, the difference between right and wrong, between God and Satan.
Wow. Let it all out, Bob. Just let it out.
Took some Xanax this morning just to kind of like come down here so I wouldn't be jumping on the table.
Oh my goodness.
But it is. It's we are raising and the proof in the pudding that the liberals have not been able to totally corrupt America is the fact that Donald Trump got elected. That like you said, where you have
Well, they
this
say
guy,
the Russians did it, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah. Thank God for the
I
Russians.
think
I was all,
They
thank
sing the
God.
same
Yeah,
Yes.
right. The Russians and Pokemon and whatever. But that we have, like what you were saying, the youth of this country. That, I mean, I will put a conservative kid against a liberal kid any day, as far as common sense, as far as debating, as far as actually doing something to make the world a better place, to actually to change our world. And this is when we're dealing against a political party that controls the media, that controls Hollywood. You control Hollywood, you control what all our kids are watching on television. And how many times you see a TV show and there's a little blurb in there to support liberalism or to support Obama. It had nothing to do with the storyline. And it's like, it's subliminal.
They're not political, you know.
Right, yeah, right.
Oh my goodness. Well, pedophile Hollywood is now collapsing officially.
Yeah.
It is completely collapsing. And now, of course, the Harvey Weinstein scandal and all the people coming out, and Meryl Streep was supporting Roman Polanski, who raped a 13-year-old girl, you know, and fled the country. I mean, these people, it's now coming out of the woodwork. All their little secrets are coming out.
Yep.
You know, under Trump, 474 pedophiles were arrested in LA. They had kids in dungeons, torture cells. I mean, these people are total Satanists. They are little Satanists. We had Zachary King on. We talked about during the break yesterday, and he was a Satanist. He was a high priest in the Satanist circles, and he's the guy who exposed Planned Parenthood as the basically distribution center of fetuses to these Satanists that want to do these rituals. They literally want to come out saying in public. Now Wiccan also came out saying it is our right. It's a female's right to have abortion. It's a religious right as Wiccans and Satanists to have abortion. That's our religious right. They're saying it's a see. They're admitting that it's a sacrament in their cult. They're admitting it now. See, they're forced to do it.
Right.
And Hollywood is colluded with them. Hollywood thinks it's a big joke with their little, Marina Abramovich, Aleister Crowley Satanist parties and their little spirit cooking, which came on the WikiLeaks. Hillary Clinton, can you believe it? The executive, the commander-in-chief, potentially, if she won, is in satanic rituals. She's in spirit cooking. Zachary King was talking about it. This is where they have blood and semen and breast milk and
Wait a second.
Go ahead. PMS, blood, and then mixing it up and doing all these crazy rituals. Hillary Clinton was at these parties in the WikiLeaks, and they were saying, "Yes, we'll prep the young children, 6, 8-year-old, in the jacuzzi for your pleasure." This is in the WikiLeaks. Podesta and her whole crew were at these parties. And this could have been the president of the United States.
Yeah, we dodged a bullet on that one.
Yeah, big time.
Big time. It is.
Whoa.
It is the election of Trump has started, in our opinion, the revolution. And right now it is a bloodless revolution,
Yes.
which is a good thing. But the lines are being drawn between what is right and what is wrong with this country. The lines are being drawn between good and evil.
Yes.
And evil can always disguise itself. Evil is that Satan whispering in our ears, go on, take that bite. Nah, it's okay. You can get away with that. We always justify. And now, because of Trump, and look, they lost. But because they lost their seat of power, now we're actually seeing it's the undressing, the taking off of their disguises. We're actually seeing, which is convincing, I believe, more people to back to what this country needs, but to see Hollywood for what they really are, to see the media for what they really are, to see the Democrats, to see the Republicans. Their disguises are coming off. The lines are being drawn between good and evil. Now again, look, we are all humans. Trump is not the perfect person. None of us are the perfect persons. But you don't have to be a perfect person to expose evil and to expose what's wrong with this country. And we're seeing it. So, what's the next step? Where do we go? Next step is going to be in the upcoming elections. Do we see where this country goes? Are we standing behind the movement that Trump started? Or are we going to go back to the old ways and elect the same old tired people who will promise us what we want to hear and yet do what they want to do?
Trump is doing too good. Who's going to run against him? Who's going to run against? They're trying to get The Rock. Did you hear about this from Hollywood? The big guy.
Yeah.
They're trying to get this guy to run on the Democratic platform, even though he says he's a Republican. He's more of a neocon Republican, but they're trying to get these Hollywood stars, Tom Hanks or somebody, to run so that they can use that popular support. Even though Hollywood is dead, nobody cares about those idiots trying to lecture us. And Trump is just, who's going to run against Trump? Who do they have that can run against Trump?
That's their downside. They don't understand what Trump is doing for this country. See, they look at it and they say, okay, the only reason Trump won is he had a TV show. He was a personality. So all we have to do is come up with another Hollywood personality who can combat him. But Trump won not because of what he did on television or that. He won because of the individual and the person he is in his heart.
Yes.
The person he is in his heart is the person you see on the tweets, that what he's sending in the morning. And when you hear him,
to have a president tweets to you
oh
directly.
my God, this guy is unfiltered. He is unfiltered. He doesn't have.
That's what he thinks.
And he doesn't have keepers, keepers of the holy grail of our country saying, okay, Mr. President, this is what we want you to say.
You can say that.
This is what he wants to say. And he is an American.
out.
Yes. Look, like I'm not saying we voted for the guy, you know, but
I did.
you know when it first came out, and like we would, you know, like we occasionally have an adult beverage, and we're at a social gathering, let's just call it that. And you know, we would have people come up to us, and you know, during the primaries, and say, "Well, who do you like?" And he would do this. I like Trump. You know, and it's like you don't have to be ashamed of it. I go, no. I'm not saying I would vote for the guy. I'm gonna vote for him. And it's like, oh my God, it's okay to say it.
You were one of the few. Remember that? Like you were one of the, in this whole area. Because remember, a lot of the Republicans in this area, man.
Oh,
they were
no,
like,
yeah.
How dare you, Trump? Trump is bad. We're
Right,
going to
right.
have Ruby or what is his name? Cruz. We're going to have Cruz.
Yeah.
Trump is a fake. We were like some of the only few ones that were saying, "Come on, Trump, man. We're going to go with Trump."
He was sincere, right or wrong. I mean, the guy he's one of us. And like I said, you could sit with him in a bar. He doesn't drink, but he would have a soda with you. But you feel like you could talk to the guy. You feel like the man actually understands what the American people are going through. You have a true belief that when he says, "Serve God," you know he means it. He's not saying it for votes. And again, what other president that we have that is donating his pay to charity?
He put $1 million on Ari.
And his own money.
I mean, this is
Yeah, but the guy's evil. Let's face it. You know, I mean, he's not
and
a
he's
good
stingy.
man.
According to Eminem's new rap, Trump is stingy.
Yes.
Even though he sent $1 million down there for the relief.
Right.
I mean, these people.
What did Eminem do?
What did he do? All he does is rap terrible raps on BET.
Right.
You see this
Disgusting
pathetic
lyrics.
rap? What kind of ridiculous? It's like he's got these big pauses, but he's like, yeah. As if he's waiting for everybody to go, oh! This is ridiculous. It's so pathetic. Where people are sick of them.
We are finally the another Wizard of Oz. With Dorothy, I'm always using Wizard of Oz, but the curtains have been drawn back.
Yeah.
You're seeing Democrats for what they really are. You're seeing Republicans, rhino Republicans for they really are. I mean, this is, like I said, other than a revolution, a painful revolution. How else could we have achieved this?
But you know, hey, let's be honest. Our town was really that voice in the whole Northeast area, because I mean, it's, other than your paper, right? It was like this. A lot of these towns are neocon, dominated. They're totally dominating neocon, and it's like our town is everywhere. Everybody talks about it. You know, even at the Republican gatherings, everybody knows about it, but they pretend they don't see it.
Yeah. I don't read that, but I heard he said.
I mean, me and Justin were shocked because we were at a lot of the Republican convention stuff here in this area, and everybody's like, Trump sucks, and we're like, what the heck are you guys talking about? You guys listening to this? I mean, are you guys listening? Aren't you supposed to be like conservatives? What are you talking about? This guy is talking about all the real issues, and we know the established Republicans won't do jack about it. They've been growing government since Bush.
We actually one time.
My dad called Bush the king of Satan's world. He called me a king of Satan's world.
At one time, we actually got invited, and it was only once, and I think the word got around pretty quick for us not to do it. We were invited to a Republican thing, and it was the center, and they were trying to promote somebody, and Dorothy and I could really give two hoots about it. But we're down at the far end of the table, and we got a discussion with another gentleman over there on the other side of the table. We're talking about carries and guns. And the woman who was running for office was sitting there, and she's pretending that she knows about firearms and she knows about carries. And I guess this is faux pas, but the guy goes, well, what do you carry? And I said, well, this is not a push for car. I said, I carry a car. And he goes, really? And he goes, what's it like? I go, well, let me show you. So I pull the car, I drop it, and I hand him the gun. All of a sudden, as I'm handing him the gun, I mean, I'm looking up, and everybody is like, at the thing, they're like looking at us like, oh my God. And I'm like realizing, like, geez, what did I just do? And the other guy, who happened to be Italian, he goes, hey, what's the matter? You never been to an Italian dinner before?
Hey, what's the matter with you?
He takes the gun and he's looking at the gun. He goes, this is really nice. It's really lightweight. So it's like, okay. That's, yeah, so I just said, okay, don't invite the Beierles to this function. It's like, all right.
Never got invited again.
Yeah, never got invited again. Never got to donate money again. So it's like, yes.
Okay.
But it was nuts because everybody in the whole town basically agrees with you. And it's like you were the only guys that were like out there vocally saying, "Hey, Trump he's anti-establishment, man. He's coming out. He's not part of this. He's not part of this." You know, and it's like it was shocking because we were talking to a lot of the Republicans in this area who now have shifted, obviously, because Trump has won. He's doing a great job, but they were against him in the beginning.
Right. Yeah.
But again, why they were against him? Because the people who they believed were telling them the truth, the Republican Party, were saying this man is bad, this man is
He's
crazy.
dangerous. Oh,
He's
yes,
dangerous.
Reince Priebus, yeah.
Oh, you know what?
dangerous.
He is dangerous. He's dangerous to them.
Yeah.
He's dangerous to the whole political system that we have.
He's dangerous to McCain.
Yeah.
This guy literally comes back from the grave. I mean, to stop the nullification of Obamacare.
Don't get me going on McCain, you know,
I mean,
because
what is up with this guy?
yeah, McCain should all these politicians, we need term limits. They
Oh, my
all are in
goodness.
there way too long, because if you say anything against McCain, he goes, "I'm a war hero. I'm a war hero. You can't talk against me. I'm a war hero." It's
Yes.
like, get over it, you know? It's like, yes, we all serve, God bless you for your service, but you can't ride that horse all day long.
Well, isn't he the one that was running? He's been caught. A lot of people have been doing stuff on him where he was in the wartime. He was running away from stuff.
Not a good soldier.
He was not a good soldier. I mean, even John Kerry trying to pretend he was a good soldier. He put the Navy's, he put the Green Berets in tremendous risk in one of the firefights.
And that's so shocking that politicians would lie to us.
Oh yeah, so shocking, so shocking, so shocking that Washington would lie.
Yeah, right.
They're the loving politicians. They're better than our daddy. Oh my goodness.
I mean, every now and then I think Satan's down there shaking his head going, "I don't believe what these guys are doing."
Can I get some talent around here?
I'd have to bring him down here and straighten him out.
There's got to be something to top the politicians now.
Casting. We need a replacement now. Oh my goodness. Give me a break. I feel like crazy, man. Okay, now here we go. NRA spokeswoman moves after receiving death threats from anti-gunners. Look at this. The peaceful, religion of peace and the peaceful liberals, who always speak about tolerance. Host Dana Loesch, is that how you say her name? And of course, NRA activist, spokeswoman Dana is it Loesch? Is it Loesch? I don't know how to pronounce that name. Loesch. I guess it's Loesch.
Loesch.
And now she had to
That's what the boss
move
says.
following a string of death threats from gun rights opponents. Now look how tolerant they are when we're talking about citizens having the ability to defend themselves against potential crazies that may come in and try to ravage their families. Hey, look what's happening in Europe. Okay, we have a situation in Europe. Everybody's disarmed. Sweden promotes themselves as being the first feminist government in the world. They have the highest rape crime. They're now the rape capital of Europe. They brought in now over a million migrants in the last 10 years. Europe, in the last 10 years, 10 million migrants. I mean, you're talking about displacement. You're talking about trying to totally displace Christian civilization, any remnants of it, bringing in radical, medieval, ancient, misogynistic, the most misogynistic civilizations in the world. From war-torn countries, 80% of the migrants are men and fighting age men. 97%, those who were coming to the U.S. were Muslim. They were not Christians like the Syrians that are being beheaded in Syria because they're Christians. They're being killed. Hey, maybe we should bring some of those people if we're going to bring them. If we're going to bring them, why don't we bring some of the Christians? They're compatible with our Judeo-Christian values. But of course, they want to bring in the radicals. They want to divide and conquer. They want to bring in the clash of civilizations.
Again,
How can they ally with this?
I mean, this is we were saying about a bloodless revolution. This is a bloodless invasion that's happening across the entire country, where one religious viewpoint, a dangerous, vile religious viewpoint, is being allowed to invade every country of this world without firing a gun. They
That's
are
their stated
literally
aim.
Opening the door and letting Satan into their country.
I mean, this is incredible. How do the feminists, how do they even rationally justify that? I mean, they're out at these events saying, "We love migrants, Islam." They're shouting Allahu Akbar. These Caucasian, suburban, rich kids having, their bras off, screaming Allah Akbar written on their chest. You're gonna be raped. Try that in Saudi Arabia. Go ahead, try that in Saudi Arabia. See what happens to you.
Right.
I mean, these people are completely in a loony bin.
It is right, but this is the product of years and years of liberal indoctrination to where people. We have two worlds. We have a world that we wish we lived in, where your fantasy and your dreams of an idealist Islam, a religion of peace, and then you have the realists that are saying no, they kill Jews, they kill Christians, they kill gays, and they treat women as slaves. Now, which is the real one? The real one is what I did, the last thing that I said, because that's what they do. It's not the interpretation of how somebody portrays them or how they think they are. Oh no, it's a religion of peace.
It's the
They're
peaceful
loving.
religion.
Right. And by the way, do you have any pictures of those women with their things up? Not that I got you, or I just for research. It's just so, honey, it's research.
Solely
Trust me.
analytical research, yes. But yes, I mean, terror strikes every week in the UK. The Las Vegas shooting, I mean, this guy had Islamic propaganda. Him and his girlfriend were traveling. Even CNN was forced to report this last week, that this guy was doing cruises all across the Middle East. He was in Jordan. He was in United Arab Emirates. He was traveling in the Middle East. He was being radicalized. And of course, White House sources are saying in alternative media through like people like Cernovich and InfoWars, people like that, Alex Jones. These people are saying there's a video where this guy's pledging allegiance to ISIS principles. Maybe not ISIS itself, but ISIS principles. Death to America. You know, I support anybody who's against America. You know, this kind of thing. Totally jihadi inspired. And of course, they're trying to say no connections to radicalization. No connections. This guy never traveled in the Middle East. He's just remember the first thing they said? He's a conservative gun owner. Yeah. He's a white conservative Christian gun owner. Now it comes out this guy has ties to radical Islam. ISIS is taking credit for it. There's multiple shooters. Breaking down a little bit.
But then you would have, if you're saying that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, would the government lie to us?
Oh, would they ever lie? No, of course not. Of course not.
No.
There are loving friends.
There's so much to that I think very few people are buying that storyline. Very few people are looking at that and saying, yeah, just one shooter. Yeah, this guy had, you know, there was nothing behind his shooting. I just, the ability of the human condition to be so gullible and I mean,
wishful thinking.
Yes, I mean if I lied to Dorothy over and over and over and over again, and then told another whopper, I mean, would you believe me? No, but the government constantly lies to us.
Done that before, Bob.
Right, no, I never lied to you.
You want to confess something?
Oh, I did have a happy relationship for 46 years. So like
God,
praise God,
praise God, man, praise God.
But I mean, it's like the government constantly lies to us, and they come out with something like this, and people are like, "Oh, okay." Government says he had no connection to Islam. Okay, yep,
Whatever
it's
they
okay
say.
with me. It's like
This is what's so amazing. Hollywood, Silicon Valley, the global, cartels, banking elites, George Soros, Rothschild Group, whatever. They literally think people are so stupid now. They think they can, just by controlling CBS and CNN, they can control the narrative. They can't control the narrative. Our town is smashing their narrative. Alternative news is smashing their narrative. Anybody who's out there just talking is smashing their narrative because it's simply not true. They're a pack of liars.
geez, maybe that's why the founding fathers were really big on free speech.
Yeah, right.
And they'll
exactly.
censor you. Hey, if you
Yeah.
say that, we love free speech, but we want to censor you.
Yeah, maybe those guys actually knew what they were doing. But I mean, that's it. The more speech you have, the more informed people are. Of course, the more speech you have, the more stupidity that's going to be out there. That's a given.
Hey, but at least it's a battleground of ideas, and
Right.
people can make their decisions for themselves.
Yes.
And not be crammed down, like you said, indoctrination. Public school, come on, that's indoctrination.
And it just gets worse once they get to college.
Right.
Todd,
Oh,
Todd,
man, college is a
Todd
joke.
I forget, did he do like a full year of
I
college?
think he only did
It's
one
a
semester.
brainwashing
One semester.
One semester
He
was
was,
all he
he
could
was
take.
getting in too many arguments with his professors.
professors.
And he said, I can't do that. Now, of course, he was raised a conservative. Dinner when the kids were younger, they'd all be sitting there eating, and I'd see one of them look, hey, Dad, what about this on television? Like, and I'd go like, oh, would you not say anything? I want one meal in peace.
What, Todd doesn't want to be enlightened?
Yeah. Hey, our son
academics?
has a Second Amendment tattooed on his arm. They're all good. They're all good. He does. They're all good conservatives. They all know how to shoot. They love God. They love country. Yeah.
God is good. God is good because of folks like you and folks like Bob. Hey folks, thank you for joining us today on this King Report. We had too much fun. Man, we gotta have Bob and Dorothy. We gotta have you guys back. An hour went by way too fast.
Very quick.
But we thank you for joining us this day, folks. Remember to keep your crowns and your rods of iron. Remember that you are co-heirs with Christ in his kingdom and that God is standing there with us. Pray for our president, pray for our country, pray for his kingdom to come. We'll see you tomorrow, 5 a.m. sharp on the King's Report. God bless Godspeed and may his kingdom come.
Amen.
Hey, wow.
Set me free.